Good morning. This is Dr. Masood Reddy, PVR Bits Kavali. This video session for final BTech first sem EEE students. Subject is power quality. Unit 1. This is the second video. For the first video already I covered the fundamental introduction of the power quality and the terminology of the power quality. And this video will discuss about reasons for increased concern of power quality problem evaluations, classification of power quality issues, magnitude versus duration plot. So first we'll go through these reasons for increased concern of power quality. The first reason is nowadays a new generation load equipments are established in the power system. New generation load equipments meaning that microprocessor based controls and power electronic devices are mostly using 90% of industries are using. So these equipments are very sensitive to power quality variations than was equipment in the olden days. So this is one of the reason for increased concern of power quality. Why we go for it? What is the necessity of power quality? So this is the one of the reason. Then the second is while you are improving the efficiency, you want to improve the efficiency of the power system. We are using adjustable speed motor drives also. So we want to control the speed. So there we are using the capacitors to improve the power factor, so to reduce losses. So this is resulting in increasing harmonic levels in the power system. So we want to follow that when we connect these capacitors to improve the power factor. So we should be concentrate on this. So we should concern about this power quality while you want to improve the efficiency, or you want to maintain adjustable speed powers, or to power factor correction to reduce losses. Next, end user have an increased awareness of power quality issues. So utility customers are challenging the utilities to improve the quality of power. So that is also, the end user also very important while concentrate on the power quality. So the end user, customer is God. So if end user is okay, so if end user can aware the power quality issues, then he cannot get into the issues of the power quality. So he will rectify himself to operate the equipment. So that is also very important. Then nowadays mostly interconnected power system networks. So integrated process mean that the failure of any component has much more important consequences. So while integrating the power system, we should be concentrate on the power. We should made as a concern on the power quality. So that is also a very important issue in case of this power quality. Next, to come back to this power quality problem evaluations. While we'll go to this power quality problem evaluations, we follow the 5 steps. The step 1 is identify problem category. I'll go through this in detail after completion of this 5. And the second evaluation is characterization of the problem. The third is range of solutions to be identified. Range of solutions to be identified. The fourth is solutions. So evaluate the solutions, which solution is suitable. And finally is fifth is optimum solution. Optimize the solution. Optimum solutions are identified. Mean you have many solutions. Among all the solutions, which solution is best economical suitable? So possible, economic suitable possible solution you identify. So now we'll come back, we'll discuss in detail about one by one. First you'll go through this identify the problem category. So what are these identify the problem category? First you'll go through this. What are these problems? So you identify. What are the problems? First, voltage regulation or unbalance. What is the voltage regulation? Change in load, the change of voltage from no load to full load with respect to no load or full load is called as a voltage regulation. If its voltage regulation is very less, the system is less, and the voltage down or voltage drop or voltage dip is also very less. So why it is happen? Due to the non-linear loads or inductive loads, you apply that, so the nearby that inductive load, whatever the element is there, that element may get into the voltage regulation problem. The second is or unbalance. What is the meaning of unbalance? If you connect a different magnitude of the loads on three phase, such a system is called as, such a circuit is called as unbalanced. If one load is 10 ohm, another load is 100 ohm, another load is 500 ohm, it's unequal. It's not a balance. Balance means one is 10, one is 8, one is 9, it's okay, problem, no problem. So even not only all are 10s, so approximately plus or minus 2 to 5% is acceptable to make as a balance. So this is about the unbalance. Due to the unbalance, what's happened? Unequal magnitude of currents will flow through the different phases. If it is star connection, then the current will flow to the neutral also. Then it may leads problem. The neutral also allow the current, so automatically neutral never have the current. Actual in balance system, neutral current is 0. So this is about problem, one of the problem identified. So then come back to this voltage sags or interruptions. Voltage regulation is a deferred, voltage sag is deferred. Voltage regulation is continuation problem, a permanent problem. But voltage sag, a sudden decrease in the voltage due to a sudden switching operation of either inductive loads or sudden motor loads. If you operate immediately, the voltage will decrease. 90 to 10% is called as a sag. If the below 10% is called as an interruption. So we remember very carefully. If the voltage decreased below 90%, above 10%, 90 to 10%, such a voltage is called as a sag, voltage sag. If below 10% is decreased, then such a voltage is called as an interruption. So that is about. So whether it may be this type of problem you identify. Then come back to the flicker. So what is the flicker? Very important. So flicker is the change in brightness of the light is called as a flicker. It is identified in case of the tube light. When you switch on the motor, near to the tube light will flickers. The brightness of the tube light will change for a few seconds is called as the flicker. Then come back to the transients. So what are the transients? Many times I discussed it. When you are the capacitor in the system will contain the inductive load. Most of the power systems are containing the inductive loads. When you add the capacitor, immediately coming into the resonance condition. So after resonance, the energy will be oscillated between inductor and capacitor, due to which energy oscillation, so the change or increase in magnitude of voltage or current in terms of the kilovolts or kiloamperes, such a but it is a fraction of seconds, not a more than the seconds. So that voltage is called as a transients. Then harmonic distortion. So what is the harmonic distortion? Generally, other than the fundamental frequencies are called as the harmonics. Why it is happening other than the fundamental frequencies in the power system? Because of inductive loads or power electronic components or SMPS, switch mode power supply. Every computer should have it. So due to operation of all these things, harmonics will develop in the power system. Due to this, the total resultant magnitude will disrupt or distorted. So that distortion is called as harmonic distortion. So whether it may be such type of problem, you identify. So listen carefully, dear students. What are the problems? Either voltage regulation or unbalance, or voltage sags or interruption, or flicker, or maybe transients, or maybe harmonic distortion. This is about the problem identification, category of the problem. After completion of this, then you identify characterization. So how to characterize actually? First you want to connect the measurements devices. You want to measure the voltage, voltmeter, current, ammeter, power, wattmeter, harmonic analyzers, And transients also can be used to oscilloscopes. So if you place all these equipments in the power system, you measure the data, you collect the data continuously. Based on this data, so what's happened? What are the causes? So what's happened, that is nothing but the causes. Then what are the characteristics of the devices? Voltage versus current, it may be the nonlinear, or speed versus torque, it may be due to torque decreases when the speed increases. What are the characteristics? You identify. So actual. So then what are the impacts on the equipment also you identify. You can categorize by measuring the data collection. So this is about the second categorization of evaluation of the problem. Next, third evaluation, identify range of solutions. Again, I explained many times, power system is categorized into four types, or four categories: generation, transmission, distribution, and utilization for customer side. So here, utilization transmission system is the range. It may be, the problem may be occurred in utilization transmission system, or already I told you many in the earlier classes. So what is the transmission? Above 33 kV voltage is called the transmission. Below 33 kV, above 33, 132, 220, 400 kV, all these transmission lines are categorized into the transmission system. So if utility transmission system side or utility distribution side, below the 33 kV distribution system, so where the problem is existed in the where it is available, you want to identify that range. Then end use customer interface in between that distribution and customer, or end user customer system at the moment of the system side, or equipment, a particular equipment the problem is developed. Where the problem is developed, you want to identify the range of solutions where the problem is existing. So this is about the third category of evaluation. Next, fourth is identify the solutions. How can you get into the solutions? First you model that. So when you model this, so immediately if you modeling and analyze this, generally you want to get into the model. So you want to model the transmission system, or you want to model the distribution system, or you want to model the end user custom, or you want to model a particular equipment. So you want to model and analyze that procedure and evaluate technical alternatives. So you identify 2, 3, 4 alternative technical solutions, and you keep it up. After then you optimize the solution. That is the last evaluation. So what is optimization? Among all these four solutions, you identify which solution is best economic solution. So you identify that, you evaluate that economic possible of solutions. So this is about how to evaluate the power quality problem. So you can evaluate the power quality problem with 5 steps. Next, classification of power quality issues. So it may be power quality may be problem due to the power frequency disturbance, or maybe that due to electromagnetic interference, or due to the power system transients, or due to the electrostatic discharge, or due to the power system harmonics, or due to the power factor, or due to the grounding problem or bonding problem. So already discussed thoroughly grounding, bonding in terminology, power factor, power system harmonics. So these things already discussed thoroughly in terminology. In the previous video, we will discuss only these four. Power frequency disturbance. If the power frequency disturbance is available in the power system, what's happening? Which phenomena results in reduced voltage or decreased voltage, or sometimes it may be increased in voltage. Why it is happening? Because of switching loads in the power system, or due to faults. Faults are nothing but line to ground fault, or line to line fault, or three phase fault. Whatever the fault, due to this power frequency disturbed. So due to this, power quality problem will arise. What are these types of problems? It may be the transients, so or fast circuit duration, even that produce distortions such as notching, ringing, and impulse. So these are the problem due to the power frequency disturbances. Next, electromagnetic interference. Generally, what is electromagnetic interference? The electromagnet are placed near to the any component, any system. Generally, you'll go to this transmission system. Transmission line is also forming as electromagnet. Why? It carries the huge magnet of current. Side by side, another connector is also there. So, due to this huge magnet of the current, so whenever a current flows through any conductor, magnetic flux are produced. So, due to this, having a high magnitude of flux are flowing, so a noise, humming noise is produced in case of this transmission lines while power carries or current carries through this transmission lines. This is called as a noise. This, so this will be, so this is obtained because of here, it traveled to sensitive equipment causing numerous unwanted problems, including shutdown of equipment also, if the electromagnetic interference is happened. Power system transients. Many times I discussed what is the power system transients. Due to the capacitor, if you connect, resonance condition will obtain. Due to that, energy will be oscillated between inductor and capacitor. Due to that, there may be an increase in voltage or current whose magnitude in terms of kiloamperes or thousands of amperes, thousands of volts. So because of this, is called as a transient. But these are all short in nature, very short duration in nature. Electrostatic discharge is a form of impulsive transients affected by the rapid and momentary flow of electrostatic discharge. So you see that in case of a cloud, thunders are formed and on any equipment, a discharge, electrostatic. So because of this, a different potentials are created, higher potential and lower potential. If you created this, the electrostatic discharge will happen. So due to this, what's happened? The electrostatic discharge that is unnoticeable to the human. Human may be shocked and maybe sometimes die also. So this is electronic devices definitely damage. Next, come back to this magnitude versus duration. See that magnitude will be considered on y-axis, event magnitude, and event duration was taken on x-axis. On y-axis, we categorize 1, 2, 3. So what are the three? Above 110%, one category. That category is called as over voltage. And 110 to 90%, normal operating voltage. 90 to 10% under voltage, and below 10% interruption. So this is the categorization. So I will clarify again, listen carefully. Above 110% over voltage, 110 to 90% normal operating voltage. Why? Already I told you many times, there should be a boundary of voltages. There should be boundaries in case of the power system. Plus or minus 10%, plus or minus 10% is acceptable for voltage in case of a power system carry the voltage for any equipment. So plus 10% means 110%, minus 10% means 90% is the operating voltage. Is also called as a system voltage, normal operating voltage. Below 90% under voltage, below 10% interruption. Now okay, fine, come back. On x-axis see that, so less than 1 cycle and 1 to 3 cycles, it is called as a very short, and 1 to 3 minutes, it's called as a short, and 1 to 3 hours, it's a long, more than 3 hours, very long. So this is about the, on x-axis, a time based on that, it is very short or long or very long. So 1, 2, 3, 4 categories. So among all these things, we will discuss thoroughly, club together, y-axis and x-axis. First we will see. So if it is above 110% and below 3 cycles, very short over voltage. Similarly, below 90% and 1 to 3 cycles, very short under voltage. If it is less than 10%, 1 to 3 cycles, very short interruption. So this is about, this is categorization. Next, above 110%, but that the time duration is 1 to 3 minutes, then it is called as a short over voltage. Below 90%, time duration is 1 to 3 minutes, short under voltage. Below 10%, time duration is 1 to 3 minutes, short interruption. So then you'll come back. Above 110% and the time duration is 1 to 3 hours, long over voltage. If it is below 90%, time duration is 1 to 3 hours, it's a long under voltage. If it is below 10%, time duration 1 to 3 hours, it is a long interruption. More than 3 hours, above 110%, very long over voltage. More than 3 hours, below 90%, very long under voltage. Below, above 3 hours, more than 3 hours, but below 10%, very long interruption. So this is about the characterization of power issues or power quality problems in case of this identified based on magnitude versus duration. Similarly, we'll go to this transient power voltage. So we'll see here, below 0.5 cycles, only transients are obtained. Above 0.5 cycles, a power voltage or voltage or over voltage will obtain. So below 0.5 cycles, above 110% is called as the transient over voltage, and above 0.5 cycles to 1 minute, temporary over voltage more than 110%, less than 90% voltage dip is also called as supply dip. So if it is more than 1 minute, if it is above 110% over voltage, below 10%, it's also generally over voltage is not a over voltage, under voltage. Sorry for this. This is under voltage. And below 1%, long interruption. So this is about this. Next we'll come back. Similarly, here, if it is below 0.5, if above 110 transients, 110 to 90, there is no issue. If below 90% of the voltage is there, such a change in the decrease in the voltage is called as a notch, or also called as a transients. So already I told you, notch or transients are very short duration of variation in the power frequency or power voltage. Then we'll come back here in this scenario, below 3 cycle momentary, below 1 minute temporary, above 1 minute sustained interruption. So see here, if it is above 110%, momentary swell, and mean that swell, but momentary swell up to 3 seconds, and up to 1 minute, temporary swell. Similarly, if it is below 90%, momentary voltage sag, more than 3 seconds, less than 1 minute, temporary voltage sag. If it is above 110%, but more than 1 minute, it's called as the over voltage. If it is below 90%, more than 1 minute, it's called as the under voltage. If it is below 10%, more than 1 minute, it's called as a sustained interruption. So this is about issues of a power quality in case of this, or based on the terminologies, how these classifications of over voltage, under voltage, swell, sag, dip, and normal operation, notch, transients, all these things we can understood. I hope that you understood that, dear students. Thank you. Thank you, all the best. Stay home, stay safe. God bless you.